Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to use the blank graphics in the More Feet Club, or you could use any graphic really for this, but we're going to specifically start with these to show you how you can add text to them and edit them as needed. You're going to see up here that, for example, I've got the text already on the graphics to make it super easy for everybody to just grab it and go. But if you want to have a little bit more customization, then you can also find these same graphics and you can edit them yourself. So when you're logged in to the More Feet Club, you pick the month you want. We're going to go ahead and just start with February to walk us through the whole process. Okay, we're going to check out these. We could even look at the copy for ideas. It's opening up somewhere else. I'll pull it over here. So again, you can look at these ideas, but maybe you want to use some of this and tweak something. You got your own personal spin. You want to add your logo even, for example. Okay, so we're going to keep scrolling down to our blank graphics and pick one that we want to save. I'm going to click on it, right click, save image as. Save. Now, the most popular tool these days that's free that people are using is Canva. It's great if for the kind of things that you're going to want to do with it. The more features they add to it though, the more it isn't always the most user-friendly. So if you find that you're having trouble with it, I'm going to also at the end show you another option that's very similar. So both of these are free. But Canva is the one that you're going to hear people talk about by far the most in most places. So I definitely want to start with it, and because you may have already used it and it may be what you're familiar with. So when we get started and you're logged in and all set up with Canva, you can create a design. Now, you can start here and you can pick from these, but most of these are just kind of over here. So I usually just come over here. Now, social media, you can see, is the 1080 by 1080 pixels. It's a little bit smaller than the graphics I've provided you, but it's the same dimensions. These are the blank graphics are square, so this is going to work perfect. Just click on Create New for social media. And you will see that they have templates that you can use too, but most of these aren't going to be tailored to reflexology. But you can easily choose something like this. I'm just going to click on it for fun, just so you can see. And you could edit the text and make it work. Now with this, you can see you got some Canva watermarking here, so they're not telling me how much this one costs offhand. When I hover over this one, you can see this template on the other hand would be free. So you wouldn't have to pay anything extra or be a member of Canva or anything like that to use this one. But this one, on the other hand, you do. And you can kind of just see. So like this one's also free and that one's over free. But I'm going to delete all this because that's not what we're doing today. I easily get distracted showing you guys tips whenever I get into whatever platform. So we're going to pick one of the images that I have saved. So over here on the side of Canva, actually this is a little bit, there's my uploads. I normally keep my browser window bigger. I'm going to click on Upload an Image. And I've got a couple of them in here, and we're going to go ahead and just click on one to open it. You can click on actually several and open them all at once. And actually I'm going to pull up this one. Now, when you put it on here, it actually showed up smaller, but all the graphics that I've created, I do them as a default of 1280 pixels wide, so you don't have to worry about increasing the size. You're still going to have good image quality when you're using this template, because as you remember over here, it said it was 1080 pixels by 1080, and mine are 1280. So you definitely can use the full background space, although if you want, you can always get creative here. Oh, why is that? So here's what I don't like about Canva. Once I add it, it let me edit it, click and drag it. And then it kind of locks it in the background. So if I double click it, now I can edit again. Oh, but it doesn't want to let me drag it. Whatever. You can cancel. Just go back. There we go. And this is something that's newer with Canva too. I feel like previously I never had these problems. I could always easily edit things in the background. But as I try to be more user-friendly, if you know what you're doing and what you want, sometimes it's trickier. Anyway, so if I don't expand it all the way, I could have it like this and give it like a little white border. You could play around with that. But anyway, I'm going to stick with the standard, simple, easy for the most part. You can play around and experiment. But now be careful. See that when I clicked off that, there's a little bit of white at the bottom, so I didn't quite get it to the full height. There we go. Now I've got it covering all of the area. And I'm going to pick some text. So I'm just going to click over here on the text, and you can see they offer some things that you could use. Maybe you like this. So we'll go ahead and click over here. You're going to want to drag it so it's the text isn't over the graphic where you can read it easily. Okay. Now, when you pick any of these, it's automatically all grouped. So if you do things, it's kind of whatever. You can ungroup it, and then you can click on each element. Like I just want to get rid of that one. I can hit delete, and it's gone. Okay. So I'm going to click on this box, highlight my text, and I'm going to change the message to what I want it to say. Okay, so I've typed in my 2 boxes here, but ugh, that looks terrible. First I'm going to do is I'm going to move my mouse and I'm going to bring this down. Now you can see all these little lines that are showing up, the pink and the teal. Those are showing me, helping me align it. So if I kind of come over here, now you can see that the edge of this box is aligned to the edge of that other one. If I move it over here, now it's showing me that this box is aligned in the center of the page. You know, I can move it over here, and now, you know, whatever. It's just showing you the different alignments. This looks awful, and I hate it. So we're going to play with it a little bit here. You can play with the different colors. Click off of it, helps you see it better. And honestly, I really don't like these font combinations. So let's pick our own fonts. And you can simply click, go away, add. Oh, I see. I'm not paying any attention. I'm just clicking. So some of these fonts, again, things are always changing, and Canva is now offering a bunch of fonts that are only available to the people who pay them extra money. So you can click on any of the ones without the crown and see what you like. I'm going to stop clicking and actually just look for something that I think would look good here. As I'm going through here and looking at the different fonts, I'm going to just point out something. With the graphics that I provide the More Feet Club, I did spend a lot of time looking for fonts and finding things that I felt give different vibes. For example, with this one, I tend to like the handwritten fonts because I think they add some nice variety. But I think that this one feels childish. So go away, a little sidebar here, give me more room. So I just want to kind of point that out. And there was another one on here that I also looked at that, here, I can actually even click on just handwriting and show you just some different handwriting ones. And the same thing with that one, this finger paint. A lot of the ones that they are providing me here that are easier to read. Actually, what about this one? So when they get, here's the thing that I want to point out too. When they get too scripty, like this is so hard to read. I would use it maybe for one word as an accent. I would never use it for a lot of text if that text is really important and I want people to read it. It can look cool, definitely, but it is, oh, it's kind of weird, messy one. But anyway, I just wanted you to kind of see that when I'm looking at fonts, I'm looking for things that convey the right image, you know, so it's kind of like fun, loose, but also readable. There's a lot to be said for, you know, picking the fonts. So it tends to be like once I find a few that I like, I stick with them because I can spend so much time trying to find the right look with a font. And since they don't have my fonts on here that I know I like, I'm going to go with this corporate look. And I'm going to pick something that has a couple different variations. That's a nice way to add some visual contrast and help certain parts stand out better. So like this one's got, and I know you guys are seeing right now how picky I am. And I apologize. I really should pause this and just pick it. Gonna go with, you know what? We're just gonna stop and we're gonna go with this because it's not about making this the perfect graphic. This is about showing you guys how you can add stuff to it. Okay. So I'm going to go with this one, and I'm going to actually make this one work too. Try the thin. And, or actually, maybe we'll try the, we'll try these. So they're in the same font family, but one's got a serif and one doesn't for a little bit of contrast. And I want to line this up. Well, again, all this Canva is being too smart for me and why I don't love it. I just wanted to adjust my box size. And if I pull it just from the side, I can change the spacing that it's in. If I drag it from the corners, it's going to increase or decrease my font size. Which I don't like. But that's because of what I'm used to. For you guys, I'm sure this will work just fine because you're learning this for the first time. And you know what? I'm just trying to show you how it works. We're not going to make this beautiful. That's what I already provide to you in the Morphe Club. And I want to add, show you how to add a logo while we're at it here. So we're going to go back to the uploads and upload an image. Now I have two logos and I'm not sure which one's going to look better. So well, I have an idea, but we're going to go ahead and highlight both of them. So I hit Control. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing with my keyboard. When I want to select more than one, you can hit Control and click on two separate images. You can also hit Shift as long as they are next to each other. Now I'm going to hold down Shift and click over here. You can see that even though I didn't click on this one, it grabbed it. I'm still holding down Shift, and that has highlighted all those. But I don't want all those. So I want this one, and I'm going to hold down Control and just select the one other graphic that I want to upload. Okay, so we're going to click Open. We've added them. Now first, let's go ahead and try my color logo. And I'm going to take this corner and drag it. It's going to automatically keep it proportional for me, which is great because we don't want to have anything that's skewing our logos and making them look all crazy. See there? Oh, nope, that still keeps it proportional. Oh, good. So sometimes their fancy stuff helps me. Now, you can see on here, though, my colored logo does not look good on this graphic because there's not enough contrast here and you can't really read it. So I'm going to delete it. I'm going to go back over here to my uploads. And I'm going to try my white one. Now, hopefully whoever or however your logo was designed, you have options. And hopefully you have it where the background isn't like white or a solid color or something like that too. If this is a problem, shout out to me and I can walk you through options and how to get a logo with the right kind of file types that are going to work for you. Okay, so we're going to put that down there. And you can see how much better the all white one works. Now, sometimes with, I double clicked on it there, with things like this that are a solid color, whatever. Click on effects. And, oh, that's a premium thing, but apparently they do that. No, they're not going to let me, no. Sometimes they'll let you choose the color. I have a feeling I did not use the right file type, but that's something you can always check too. Like if, for example, your logo is black, you could try clicking on it and seeing if they give you the option, like here with the font, when you can click on the colors and choose a new color. Sometimes with elements, you can do that. And if you are using actual Canva elements, usually you can do that too. But, so there you go. You know what? I want to show you guys one more thing just for a little fun. We're going to click on elements and we're going to click on, oh, I was hoping for just a nice frame. There we go. Well, I won't use this one, but I'm just going to put it on here just for fun. And we're going to expand this. Okay, I'm just dragging the edges to make it the way I want. I'm going to click on it, and now you can see over here the color. And I apologize. Hold on. I'm going to pause this and fix that. Okay, and I should tell you what I did. I actually just went up here. I went up here to make sure it was, I had a file name in here, and it says up here, all changes saved. I closed this window, and then I went back to my Canva. I refreshed the page, and I opened it again. So I don't know why sometimes I get click happy and Canva gets stuck with the highlights. Okay. Sorry for the side note. Back to this. So I wanted to add this little frame. Color they show me right now is terrible. Black, no. White is better. But now I'm going to try to pull all my elements. Oh, okay. This is, I'm going to hit Control Z because I want to put it exactly back where I had it. And I'm going to go up here to position. And I'm going to say, not to the back. Well, I'll show you what happens when you go to the back. But when I click there and I click off of it, well, whatever. I apologize. Canva keeps changing things. I think that it is treating my background photo as not even part of the thing. So it's not going to go behind it. Usually, it used to be that way, though. I would have actually sent it to the very back, and I wouldn't be able to see it. Okay. But now, you can see because I sent this frame to the back, when I click on these, they're on top. I can see them. Okay. So I've kind of highlighted this. I'm going to center. Now, you can see my pink line. I want to use my hands, and you guys can't see my hands. The pink line does not go from the top to the bottom of the entire page. So it is not centering it on the page. It is only going between those two boxes, the two text boxes, to tell me that the two text boxes are centered together. So perfect. I'm going to leave that there. And I'm going to drag that down. There we go. Now I can see it. Okay. Again, this isn't good. This is not something I would actually use, but I'm just going to show you for fun. So there, I've made my logo tiny, and you kind of got like a little other frame element. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier, the frame element that it's a Canva element, and I can change the color, play with it, whatever. You can pick a specific color if you have your logo or your brand and you actually know your hex code for what colors you use for that. You can pick them right here. But again, I think, well, I don't love this period. The white would work better. So anyway, just a little bit of fun to show you. When you go to download it, when you are putting a graphic on social media, the PNG is great. You don't need to mess with any of these. In fact, they're going to now, again, all of these things they require you to pay for. And just click download and you're going to save it. If you were going to your website, I would click on JPEG because it's a smaller file size, and anything you upload to your website, you definitely want to keep the image file size smaller, although I still wouldn't use anything straight from Canva. Canva file sizes are huge. So I would still resize it further. I can always show you guys how to do that in another video if you are interested. If you wanted to print it or have it as a PDF, again, they give you all these options, although again, the graphics, if you're using my graphic, it is not really sized for print, it is sized for web. So those are the details you don't have to worry about for the most part. And if you do need something that's print quality, talk to me, and those are resources we can get added to the Morphe Club if you guys are wanting to print out things. So anyway, just to confirm, for today, PNG, perfect. Click download to save, and then you can upload it to social media. Got our logo, we added our text. I think that covers everything. I'm going to just go back to the home page on Canva for a moment, and just to show you a few other things while we're in Canva that you can do. For example, if you want to do some fun, you could always try these animated ones. And honestly, I think they are a little crazy and a little 80s. But okay, I need to stop being picky and just show you guys things, huh? Here we go. So that just adds a little bit of extra fun element. Remove watermarking. This one is going to require you to pay. That one's free. So again, okay, we'll try that one. Use one that's actually free. What are the, let's see. I don't know what moves on this. Oh, there we go. So those things move, but you can see that you can even still drag this, make it bigger. Drag this one, I'm going to make it smaller. Just so you can see, you can click on this element, make it bigger, make it smaller. You can change the color. So again, if you want to have fun with Canva, you can, you just keep clicking on things so you can see how you can change them with Canva. I'm trying to think what other features you would need to know. Again, you know, changing your fonts, your colors. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go back to my, oh, I didn't keep it open, did I? There we go. We'll go back to this design for a moment here. A couple things that I didn't show you. So I showed you the text size. No. So you can change the text size. It will also change when you drag it though. And you can bold it, you can underline it. This font must not have an italic option. You can't always do italic. Yeah, this font does not allow you to do italic. You can change the alignment. You can also force it to be uppercase. My advice when it comes to uppercase text is if you're using it on a couple words, great. When you're using it for more than a couple words, it tends to be harder for people to read. So again, you can do it as a visual effect. You can do it for emphasis, whatever you want. Just keep that in mind that it's not always as easy on the eyes to read as it is if you use the normal ways. You can use bullets. Oops, keep going to get it off. Okay, spacing. This is one that, again, you may want to play with a little bit if you need to change the spacing between each line of text. That is called the line height. And you can drag this little scale. You can also change how it anchors, but anyway. And then the letters would be the space between each individual letter. So, you know, again, it gets really hard to read. But sometimes, especially depending on the font, I'll do it for the ease of reading. Sometimes some fonts are a little too squished together and I think they're hard to read, but I like the style of the letter. So this can be a way to make it. Or again, if I want the spacing to work, like if I really wanted these two to kind of be the same exact width, I could play with this a little bit. Oh, I did it again. I hate it when that happens. Okay, so I'm just going to close this. I forgot to double check to make sure it was saved, but I didn't really care. Gets me close enough. Okay. And then if you want to duplicate an element, click on that. And now you have two of them. And sometimes if I like the style, it's easier to do it. You know what? Whatever. Okay, so I'm going to drag this down here because really, if you're going to edit the text yourself, might as well put your phone number on it or however you want them to book. I keep mine generic, obviously, but this would definitely help you out, is making it as easy as possible for people to book with you. Okay, so that's how you duplicate. The position, I kind of showed you guys this. So this one it's not going to make a whole lot of difference, except now that I send it all the way to the backwards, and I'm going to click on the background here. Now, when I try to click on the reflexology works, I can't do it because this little circle square thing is in front of it. So I'm going to have to move it backwards. Now I can click on this. So that's what position does for the most part. Like, or even here, you see there, I can kind of actually cover up the words. You can't read the white words behind it because these are in front. So when I click on this and I change my position to the back, now you notice that you can read the reflexology works because it is now in front of this. Copy style. So again, I could click on this, click copy style, and now I just changed that to match the same font. Up here, Control Z, undo. Or you can use it on your keyboard as well. Command Z if you have a Mac. A gradient or transparency. I don't have anything. Well, you can do it. You can. Oh, I do. You can do it with the text. So, if you want it to, now I'm gonna move the text. It's still kind of hard to see. If I make it bigger. Just so you can see how the transparency works. So when it's at 100%, it's the full color and you cannot see through it at all. But as it gets lighter, now you can start to see part of that foot behind it. And this is not an example of something visually that you would like, just so you understand the tools that you have to work with. Drag that back over here. Okay. Let's put that back to full transparency. If you want to delete an element, I mean, I click on the element and I click delete on my keyboard, but you could also delete there. You can undo it if you accidentally didn't want that. You can add a new page. Now we both have the same background. You could change this. Hit delete and go back to our uploads and add a different one. And I'm going to drag that. Oops. Okay. And then you can add text on there. And again, you can, duplicate these elements. It might be easier versus having different ones. And then when you go to download, you just want to come over here and check the one that you want to download. When you click done, download, prepare your design, and then you can say where you want to save it to. And of course, they're going to give you ads. Let's see, anything else that I think would be helpful on this? Okay, I think that's pretty good. Maybe I should record a more simple one too, just as a backup. But stencil. I know, super confusing, but just in case, I'm not even logged in right now. Now, with stencil, the default, I'm going to choose Instagram is going to be square. So again, if you're using the square templates, that's a good way to do it. So I can just click set. Now I have this. I can go to uploads, upload image. Oops, that's in my way. Okay, let's play with this running image this time. Give you a little message that you can read. Now I think what they're doing here is they're giving you more of a choice versus Canva did not give me a choice, but you could set it as the background. But anyway, so I'm going to, again, you know that my images are going to let you expand to the 1080 by 1080, no problem. You could go 1280 and it'd be at 100% quality. Okay, so there we've got that positioned. Now we can come over here to add text, and it just automatically gave us some text. You can change size. Oops, maybe that's where you'd want to make sure oh my goodness. Okay, do we want to set this as the background? There it is. Set it as a background. Now I'm going to drag my text, and I want my text to be white so I can read it. And I'm going to click off that. Now this gave me an extra text box automatically here, which I'm just going to click on this delete, or I can click delete on my keyboard and get rid of that. So you can say whatever you want on your text. You can play with, again, the alignment. If I have this bigger, you can add a drop shadow, which isn't going to really show up on that part. You can see it a little bit better there that I've added the more intensity of the drop shadow, the less. The line height, again, would only matter if you have more than one. Then we did the text color. There's, if you wanted to have an outline, doesn't really look very good, but hey, we'll just have it for fun. And you could even add a background color behind the text at the sides of your text box. But I don't want that. So if I want to get rid of that color that I already, you can see that color behind the text box, I can just click this X and it goes back to none. And over here, I'm going to show you the color picker. If you actually wanted to, you could click on part of the thing. I really actually like this feature. The more we're using this, the more okay, that's really ugly. In fact, we're just going to get rid of the outline altogether. But I think that the stencil, and it's GetStencil.com for the URL, it actually might be easier for you guys to use. They do also have templates that you can use, and they do have some photos that are free. Most of them I think just come from Unsplash website. They have some icons you can use. They even have, if you just want to look for like a good quote, you can do that. So when you're done, oh, they are still going to make me create an account, which I have. Okay, so here's what where they're at these days is you get 10 free images per month, just so you know. So that's what the limit is with Stencil. Canva, I don't believe that they have any limits on how many images you can download or how many things you can edit. It's more about certain features, and certain images are free versus you have to pay for to use. Now that I am logged in, I can just click on download and choose my format. So you can choose JPEG, PNG. For the most part, it doesn't really make a lot of difference. Like I said, the JPEGs tend to be a little bit smaller file size. PNG can be a little bit better quality, but also has different benefits and features with images that we don't need in this case, but transparent backgrounds is an important one. The 1080 by 1080 is perfect. Digital, yes. Oh, see, again, I'm really liking Stencil better. They are now offering compression. So again, if you were doing this for your website, definitely compression is helpful. And, you know, the maximum might degrade the quality a little bit. So you can kind of see what you think. If it looks bad, then I would just go to standard, but oh, it may take longer to process is the other thing they're saying. But anyway, again, if you're putting it on social media, standard is completely fine. Just on your website, that I would, again, try for the maximum, and as long as it looks good, I would use that. And I'm going to save my file, except I don't really want to. And there you go. So you can have a little grid to help you with, for like alignment purposes would be why I would use the grid. And that will help you just get away from the background. That's if you want to add more text, you can create a new image. So anyway, and it even shows you up there how many more images you can edit this month. I hope that feels helpful and you feel like you are ready to customize your own graphics. I just want to encourage you to take a little time and play with it and find what you like. Oh, did we go back to one thing? Oh, there it is. I was going to say the one thing I remember I didn't show you was how to change the font. So here you go. They don't have quite as robust of a list as Canva did, but that can be helpful. You don't have as many choices to make. It's not as hard. And all of their fonts, you don't have to worry about which ones are paid versus not. And it's kind of nice. As I just scroll through this, it automatically shows you the different ones so you can see what you like best. So anyway, pretty simple, easy, and best of all, it's free to use. Let's get some more feet on your table and have a great day.